Recording. All right, happy Tuesday. I want to say Thursday already. It feels like Thursday for some reason. I think so many Zooms, it feels like it's already halfway, 3/4 of the way through the week. So welcome to our Tuesday night X39 Stem Cell Activation Science and Technology Zoom. My name is Dr. Staci, and I am going to be going over the science and tech of our X39, our stem cell activation patch tonight, as well as some of the other patches. So if you are a guest this evening, please get out your notebooks and your pens or pencils. You're probably going to want to take some notes. I am going to be referencing some websites. Got some beautiful co-hosts with me this evening that are going to be putting those in the chat for you. And then, of course, we're going to get to probably what I think is your most important part, which is your ability to ask questions lifetime in the chat. Of course, you are all muted for obvious reasons. We end up with over 200 people on this Zoom, and there's no way to unmute everyone. But I'll be able to answer your questions in that chat live tonight. So before I get started, I do want to let you know that my background is in holistic health. So I have a PhD in integrative medicine and a PhD in functional medicine. I am not a medical doctor and I am not your doctor. So if you have questions about your health in regards to what you're doing or what's going on with you, please check with your healthcare practitioner. The information I'm sharing tonight is information. I will be referencing clinical studies and research data, patents, things like that. So know the information I'm sharing is backed by real science over the last 20 years that has been utilized with people, but also that if you have specific questions on diseases or syndromes or specific types of conditions, that I won't be able to reference them because our information is not intended to prevent, treat, or cure or diagnose anyone. So I can reference the organ or the system that your issue is happening with. So ask me in reference of the symptoms you're experiencing, like pain or inflammation or things like that. All right. So let's get started right away by talking about the science and tech with the history of Lifewave. So as I referenced, Lifewave is a almost 20-year-old company now, right? We're going on 20 years. David Schmidt is the inventor of this technology. He is the owner of this company and the CEO, which is pretty incredible that our owner and CEO is the actual inventor of this. So this is not something that we, went to other countries to outsource. He was given the information by the divine to create this technology, which is a non-transdermal patch that does different types of things in the body we'll be talking about tonight, but specifically with the X39 that actually triggers the body to elevate a peptide, which is GHK-Cu copper peptide, and in turn elevating, activating, and mobilizing your own stem cells. So before we get into that, let me give you that real quick background. Like I said, the company's almost 20 years old. David was working with the Navy SEALs 20 years ago, inventing things, helping them on their survival equipment with the SEALs. And he was asked to contribute to a problem they were having with sustainability, endurance, stamina, and energy in the field. And he was given the idea by God, by the divine, to create a non-transdermal patch that triggered beta oxidation. I go in depth on one of my previous YouTubes, the Lifewave Connect here recently, so you can go see more information about the energy enhancer, but basically turning body fat into fuel. It worked fantastic for the SEALs. And then 9/11 happened here in the US. The world obviously took a different turn. Our country did to protect the country and bear more arms. And so they pulled out of that mission with the Navy. And David started working with the Stanford University swim team. He's good friends with Richard Quick. And so a lot of people ask, can you wear these patches in the water? Are they waterproof? Well, knowing that they started with the SEALs and that we went to the USA Olympic swim team and the Stanford swim team, yes, you absolutely can shower in them. You can sweat in them. You can swim in them. They are waterproof because when you look at this patch, you will see that one side is sticky, okay, and the other side is smooth. And so there are two 3M hypoallergenic polymer shells that are smushed together. And that white part in the inside is what David invented that we're going to talk about. So after 2 years of clinical studies with the Stanford swim team and the Olympians, David went on to start Lifewave. and he went on to invent other patches. So we're not going to go into all the patches tonight. He has invented a dozen patches over the last 20 years, all doing different things, signaling different peptides in the body. But know that these patches are all non-transdermal, which means nothing is entering into your body. So you're probably familiar with a pain patch or a nicotine patch or birth control patch, estrogen patch. Those are all patches that are transdermal, meaning they put a chemical, a nutrient, a substance, a chemical source, whatever, into the body. So that is transdermal. Something is transferring. Non-transdermal means nothing's transferring. So how does this work then? What are these patches David's invented all these years that are not putting anything in the body, but yet causing change? Well, we call this photobiomodulation or phototherapy, and you're probably familiar with it with red light therapy or blue light therapy or laser therapy, infrared saunas. So those are different wavelengths of light that you don't feel entering your body, but yet they're doing something, right? They're causing change in the body. That's photobiomodulation. And we know, of course, with the sun, when we go outside in the sun hits our skin and it elevates vitamin D in our body. We don't see that ray of light coming into our body. We don't feel it entering our body. And we don't feel the process of vitamin D elevating either, but it is happening. We know that. And so this technology works similar, but a little different. I do want to share this with you because as soon as I reference the sun, people always think I've got to be out in the sun for this to work. And it doesn't work that way. You do not need to be in the sun for this technology to work. It works with your own light. Now, believe it or not, you may not know this, but we are trillions of cells of light. If you put your hand on your chest, you are about 98.6, unless you live in Florida where I do, and we're usually 106.6 at this time of year because it's so hot. Texas, I'm sure, is the same as probably out there in Arizona, hot, right? Crazy everywhere right now. And so that heat that your body is emitting or light is measurable. Right now, it's still light outside, but in about an hour, it's going to be completely dark here. And if I were to go outside, I couldn't see my neighbor or the deer in the woods or cows or horses unless I looked through night vision goggles. And if I did, then I would see the outline of the human or the animal in colors, red, blue, green, yellow, whatever, right? That is the heat or light that the body is emitting. And so that is what this technology is working with, our body's light. Don't need an outside source. We are it. So what happens is in the morning, right? In the morning, this is obviously evening, but in the morning, you're going to get up and you're going to put your patch on. You can put it on the back of your neck. You can put it below your belly button because that's where it shows in the instruction booklet. But you can put it anywhere. People ask me all the time because they see my patch here. Does it have to go right there? No, but it's a great place for people to see it. If you're out and about, and they're going to ask you what is on your chest, right? You can see Leah's patch right up here by her throat as well. So you can put your patch anywhere you want. Your whole body is light. Your whole body is emitting that heat. And so the patch is working systemically no matter where you apply it. And when I say systemic, I mean that means throughout the whole body. Now, keep in mind, you're going to talk to me about pain and issues on your body. You're going to say my shoulder or my back, and you're going to want to know if you can put the patch on that location. Of course you can. Does that mean it's going to address the pain in that area? No, it doesn't work that way. Your body knows how to heal itself, right? When you cut your finger or when you break your bone, it's not the Band-Aid or the cast or the patch that you stick on the spot that does the healing. It's the body, right? It's the body's stem cells. Stem cells are the holy grail of healing. You have an abundance of them when you're young. That's why you're young, youthful. We don't see 5-year-olds with gray hair. We don't have 10-year-olds with back pain. We don't have 12-year-olds with heart disease. It doesn't happen because their bodies are always repairing and regenerating, right? They can sleep anywhere, no matter in a crowded room. They have boundless amounts of energy. Go, 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 go. They fall out of a tree or fall off their bike, break a bone, they never miss a beat. Stem cells are going to work to repair those areas right away. Well, as we age, we have less and less active stem cells. Ours become dormant. They're tired. They're wore out. So by the time in your 30s, you have half of your stem cells that are active. The rest are there. They're just not participating in the recovery process and regeneration process in your body. Well, by the time you're in your 60s, you have less than 10% of your body's stem cells active. The rest are done. They're tired. They're wore out. And so this technology, when you apply this patch in the morning, something happens right away. And first thing that happens is the elevation of a peptide, which is called GHKCU copper peptide. So we're going to have a website in the chat, and it's reverseagingwithghk.com. And it's where David got his inspiration and started his studies in the benefits of GHKCU. It's Dr. Lauren Picard's website, so it has nothing to do with Lifewave or with this technology at all, but it's 50 years of science and data and clinical studies with people, everything from asthma and allergies to prostate and breast cancer to COPD and everything in between. You're going to see Dr. Picard talk about the benefits of GHK in healing the body and repairing the body. It's something that declines as we age. So you put this patch on in the morning, immediately what happens is it elevates your GHKCU copper peptide. One of the benefits of GHK is the resetting of a third of your genes. So upregulating a third of your genes back to their young, youthful, healthy state. Now we know genes express to other genes, and so I'm going to talk to you about a compound effect in a little bit. But when you reset a third of your genes, amazing things start to happen in the body. One of the things is that one of those genes is P63. And P63 is the gene that's responsible for mobilizing your own stem cells. Remember, I said this is non-transdermal. This doesn't have stem cells in it going in your body. So you don't have to worry about any of that. This is going to activate your own. It's going to wake up your own stem cells. Let's get back to doing what we did when this person was a child. Young, youthful, healthy, vibrant, full of life, slept amazing, had boundless amounts of energy. That's what your patch is going to start doing on day one. But I'm going to talk to you about the long-term compound effect of patching and what will happen if you continue to patch. Now, it doesn't mean you're going to feel something on day one. I didn't feel anything for 3 weeks. My husband didn't feel anything for over a week. Now, my friend Laura, she felt something in 20 minutes. We're all different, but no matter what, it immediately resets your genes and it starts to work to elevate your own stem cell production. You may not feel anything from that. It may be months before you feel something. We're all different. Based on the clinical studies, about 80% of the people notice a difference in the first 3 to 6 weeks. The other 20%, it's about 3 to 6 months. What you're going to notice is going to be different than what I notice, than what Leah notices, or Debbie, or Lynn, or Dr. Clinchy, or Sharon, or Laura, or Carolyn, or Chad, or Teresa. We're all going to feel something different. And the reason why is because there are different things going on in all of our bodies, physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. We're all different. And so our body, again, knows how to heal itself. It has in its own innate ability to know what to do and in what order. So you may say, oh, I've got this issue with my shoulder. I have lack of, range of motion issues. I have pain. I have inflammation. And, I need to get this pain out of my body, under control right now. Well, I can't guarantee you that X39 is going to do that. It's not designed just to get rid of pain, right? It does so much more. So I'm going to talk to you in a little bit about some additional patches. Remember, I said David's invented a dozen patches over the last 20 years. So there are a couple patches that do address pain immediately and inflammation to help you to improve your quality of life right away. So know that when you put that patch on, you may or may not feel something for for days, weeks, or even months. We don't feel our blood flowing through our veins, thank God. We don't feel our heart or lungs doing the things they're doing, our digestive tract or our hair growing. We don't feel our fingernails or toenails growing, but those things are happening every single day. So know that there are processes in the body that take place that sometimes we feel and sometimes we don't. And this is not a quick fix. I'm going to be honest with you. This is stem cell regeneration. This is regenerative medicine. David holds over 130 patents. Over 70 of those are in regenerative medicine and stem cell technologies. That is no small feat. Do you know what it takes to even get one patent? I can't even imagine. I don't even have a clue what it even takes. I don't have a mind. I don't know. God has the mind. I get it, but I don't have any idea. There's nothing been downloaded into me to invent something to go get a patent. It just has not happened in my world yet, let alone 130 patents this man has. That's just mind blowing, right? And our stem cell activation patch is patented. We have a patent on that. And like I said, of course, backed by clinical studies. So I want you to go to startx39now.com later. And I want you to check out all of our research, all of the data, because this has been studied by independent labs and researchers and doctors all over the globe. Double-blind placebo studies. That's impressive to me. And they're real, okay? Let's be honest. There's been a lot of craziness going out there the last 3 years. Like I said, David has 20 years of studies. It took him 10 years in the lab to figure out how to elevate GHK with a specific wavelength of light, right? Reflected back from this patch, from our own body. I mean, it's nothing shy of a miracle. So be patient with your process. Be patient with your progress, and know that the longer you use this patch, the more benefits you will gain. The person that invited you here is going to share with you a health tracker. That health tracker is going to help you to map out your success and your progress over the first 90 days. And of course, you can do it again after that. Most of us are not in our 30s in here. Let's just be honest. We do have a group of 20 and 30-year-olds that unfortunately have severe digestive issues from the lack of food that they eat, the lack of nutrition in their food, and our environment and toxins. And so they are having great success with our patches. But the majority of the clients and people that are using these patches are more towards their late 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, and even into their hundreds. Because everybody wants to look and feel younger, right? They want that better quality of life. Most people deal with pain. They deal with memory issues, energy, physical energy, mental energy, concentration, clarity. They have a lot of brain fog. A lot of people are, dealing with accidents and injuries. Car accidents, surgeries. And so it helps with wound healing, increasing your wound healing time. We've seen lots of great pictures here recently of people that have had surgeries, pets that have been in accidents and had to have stitches, and seen that recovery process expedited from using the patch. But I want you to make a list of all the things wrong, all the things that are bothering you, all of it. Make a list, a grocery list. And I want you to use this patch. Put it on in the morning when you get up and brush your teeth. Take it off at night, 12 hours later when you brush your teeth. I want you to do that day in, day out, week after week, month after month. Well, I'm over 2 years now here. I want you to continue to patch until all those things are crossed off your list. And we recommend a minimum of you starting with 1 month for every decade you are old. So if you're in your 50s, 5 months, 60s, 6 months, 77 months, before you even form an opinion. Now, that doesn't mean you're not going to feel something in the meantime. 99% of the people do feel something in the meantime, but I want you to be patient with the process and know, like I said, this is not a quick fix. You're right. It didn't take, 3 months or even a month for you to get in the situation you're in right now, right? How long have you had each of those things on your list? How long has that been going on in your life? Be okay with it taking time. All we have is time. At the end of the day, you're either going to get older or younger. Which is it? You pick. But regeneration only happens when you are aware of it and you're doing something for it. Otherwise, you're degenerating. Your body is breaking down. We look at the degenerative diseases like heart disease and diabetes and cancer and Alzheimer and dementias, those top 5 killers, right? Those are all degenerative diseases that are happening because the body is not able to repair and regenerate. So this gives you the ability to start to repair and regenerate your body and actually even reverse the functionality of the cells and tissues and organs in your body. Now, that's a big claim. How can I say that? Well, go to startx39now.com. If you look at our clinical studies, one of the studies with X39, this patch that I have on, the stem cell activation patch, has actually been done with the cardiovascular system, the entire vascular system, actually. And so what we see is every 6 weeks of using the X39, your entire vascular system is functioning as if it were 8 weeks younger. Every 6 weeks, 8 weeks younger. We know heart disease is the #1 killer, men and women. We know that. That is not something to play around with. You only have one heart. We know what this technology does to repair and regenerate. And we can see it in the vascular system. We can see it in the brain. We can see it in the kidneys and the liver and the spleen and the pancreas. We can see that. And so knowing that you have your hands on something literally for the price of a cup of coffee a day, that you don't even have to worry about. I just put it on when I brush my teeth and go about my day and take it off at night when I brush my teeth. And it's working to do all the things that my body needs done, that it wants done to be able to keep me young and youthful, right? I'm using this patch for prevention. I am almost 50, but my biomarkers are showing that I'm in my mid-20s because of using this technology. And so that is something to look forward to, being able to reverse the functionality of your organs and your cells to where you are young and youthful again and vital and vibrant. We have people every day that say, I feel like I'm in my 30s and I'm in my 70s. You know, I'm in my 60s and I've had car accidents and I've had surgeries and I've had, all these chronic diseases and inflammation and all this stuff going on. And they start using the X39 and they feel like a totally different person in a matter of just months, right? That time's going to go by no matter what. So be patient with that process. But I'll be honest with you, if you are like most people, you're not patient and you want what you want and you want it now. You want 30 years of chronic inflammation and all the things on your list gone in 30 days. So I'm not going to say that's going to happen. Let's be realistic. If I did, you should run from me right now. But I will tell you, we can use supportive patches to help expedite and help target specific systems or organs in the body to be able to help you achieve success quicker. That's just the way it works. And so that's the beauty of what David has created with these patches, are patches that help you to target organs or systems. So I want to talk to you a little bit before we open it up for questions about Eon. Eon, I'm going to look at your questions and I'm going to tell you everything is X39 in Eon. Eon was the #1 selling patch that Lifewave had until David released X39 a little over 4 years ago. Why? Eon reduces inflammation in the body. We all know, if you've been to a doctor, you know that inflammation is the root cause of disease in the physical body. Your doctor will tell you your C-reactive proteins are high, your lipids are high, your fibrinogen, your cytokines, something when looking at blood work, they're looking at inflammation. Inflammation is the root cause of disease in the physical body. So you want to address the inflammation. Inflammation causes pain. We know that. Now, I'll be honest with you, we don't have time to get into this, but your diet is your first line of defense. Eating foods that are anti-inflammatory are critical for the way you feel, the way your joints feel, your bones, your sleep, your energy level. Just Google anti-inflammatory foods. Eat those. Most of them are probably going to be on that list of alkaline foods. Eat those. You will feel amazing. You want to eat things that are real, that are fresh. If you can, grow them out back or get them from farmers markets or co-ops. Get organic, fresh, non-GMO non-appeal, AP, have you seen that? Bill Gates's food, genetically modified beyond even that food. So stay away from all of that stuff. Stay away from the processed packaged foods. All of that lead to inflammation. All of that lead to the disease process in the body. So making sure you're drinking fresh, clean, healthy water. Make sure that you're drinking as close to half your body weight in ounces every day as possible. It's really important, especially with this technology, but it's really important for your life and your longevity that you stay hydrated. This specific technology is a wearable light technology, and so our cells are light. And so that communication in the body needs water for the conductivity. So it's really important that you're hydrated. You will feel amazing. You will get better and faster results if you are staying hydrated. Now, I do want to mention a little caveat. Most people are dehydrated even if they are drinking water because of their electrolyte imbalance. About 90% of our population is deficient in potassium. The reason why is because their sodium is through the roof from processed, packaged, frozen, canned foods that are full of sodium. You want to make sure, even if you're eating, like chicken or turkey breast, that it's not injected with tons of sodium. It should not be, right? We don't need that in our food. And so staying away from those processed, frozen, canned foods that are full of sodium is going to help you with your potassium. And of course, again, you can Google foods that are higher in potassium, but then also note that about 70% of our population are deficient in magnesium. And magnesium is massive for your body's functions, for the cellular functions. When we look at pain, when we look at sleep, when we look at digestion, all of these processes in the body need magnesium. And there are over 7 different types of magnesium. So I want you to look for an electrolyte powder. Get back with the person that invited you. They probably have an idea of one that they recommend that would be good to help you to stay hydrated. Stay away from Gatorade. Did you know they actually they boil Gatorade before they pour it in the plastic bottle? Now, of course, it's full of dyes and chemicals and all that other stuff, but it's boiling hot when they put it in there, so it leaches all of the toxins from the plastic. Just stay away from. That's not what I'm talking about with electrolytes. I'm talking about a good, clean source. Use some pink Himalayan or Celtic sea salt, just a little bit in your water each day as you're drinking, or even a crystal of Celtic sea salt on your tongue before you drink a glass of water will help pull the water into the tissues and into the cells, and the salt's in there to help to hydrate you. That's a good, healthy salt, right? We're not talking about what is that? The girl or something? I can't remember what the umbrella. I don't even remember the name of that salt. Horrible, right? Toxic type of whatever that chemical is that they used to use. So stay away from those toxins and really do things to keep your body hydrated. That's super important, again, for your life, for your longevity, but also for your success with these patches. Your cells need the water for the conductivity because our cells are light. We're trillions of cells of light. And so before I answer your questions, you're probably wondering, how does this even work? If it's non-transdermal, nothing's going in the body, there's no contraindications with medications or supplements or therapies, there's no side effects with the patches, how is it working? Well, that's what David's invented. You see this white part? That, embedded in that, is a crystal lattice structure. Not a crystal like a clear quartz crystal or an amethyst. Those were backwards. Not that type of crystal. It's a lattice structure. And so what he has invented is a proprietary blend of organic amino acids, oxygen, water, and sugars that form together in a lattice that's embedded in this patch. Now, before you freak out, it's not sugar from your kitchen, okay? So don't tell me you have blood sugar issues and you don't know if you can use the patch. Non-transdermal, nothing entering the body. And these are molecules. They are solutions of chiral stereoisomers that form together in a specific way that make a lattice that is reflective. So when we put the patch on, our body's light reflects back a very specific wavelength of light into the body. So if you were here in the beginning, you heard me talk about red light therapies or laser therapies, blue light therapies, or even the sun, wavelengths of light that enter the body that cause change. That's called photobiomodulation. Well, this is just reflecting your own body's light back in. at a very specific wavelength that is elevating the peptide GHK-Cu copper peptide. And each patch has a different lattice structure, so a different solution, a different group of molecules that come together, so it signals a different peptide in the body. So that's how the patches are working differently. I highly recommend you use X39 with Eon. Let's reduce the inflammation while we're elevating our stem cell production to set your body up for the more rapid repair and regeneration process. Eon brings you into that parasympathetic state. Parasympathetic is calm, rest, relax, digest. The body's more apt to heal in that calm state versus in the nervous system state on crack cocaine, fight or flight mode, which most people live in, where your body is going nonstop. And so we want to bring that down, right? We call the Eon our happy patch. You can use it day or night. X39 is daytime only. So I am going to answer your questions now. Be aware, if you are newer here, just coming in, I cannot reference specific diseases or syndromes. So please talk about the symptoms that you are experiencing. Like Marcy always says, I have symptoms of fast growing cells. What does that mean, Marcy? But just be sure to talk about the symptoms that you're experiencing. Okay. So someone's asking, what patches would I use when my head hurts, right? When I've got headaches. So definitely your X39, definitely your Eon, and absolutely use the Icewave. Icewave is not going to fix your problem. It's not going to get to the root of what's going on with your headaches, but it will get rid of the pain on the spot. Icewave is a 2-patch system. It uses the white patch and the tan patch. And so you could put the white on the right and the tan on the left. Or maybe your headache's coming from the base down here at the occiput. You could put your white down here on the right, and you could put your tan back here on the left. You have a right side of the body and a left side of the body, and they work with your polarity of your body to open up energy channels. Pain is stuck energy. And so that is the Icewave. So pain, anything with pain, X39, Eon, and Icewave. X39 and Eon are going to get to the root of the problem. You don't want to just fix, you don't want to cover it up, right? It's like we don't want to take an Advil or a Tylenol, which are just going to be super toxic to your liver and everything else. We want to make sure we're addressing the root problem. So X39, Eon, do that. Icewave, of course, is not like Tylenol. It's not going to hurt you, but definitely use it as needed for pain, and you can move them around. I want to share a place for you to go to look at videos for Icewave, because there are a lot of different placements that David has done. If you go to YouTube and you type in Lifewave Icewave, you will find 5 different videos that David has done. They're about 4 or 5 minutes each. And you will be able to see the different places that he puts the patches, the Icewave, in order to eliminate the pain if you need help with that. Okay. You can put your X39 and your Eon on the location where it hurts. It doesn't mean it's going to get rid of the pain. Sometimes Eon will, because it reduces inflammation. So we've seen it reduce the pain or bring the pain level down, but we know that's what Icewave was created for. So please use, if you're saying I'm in pain, don't expect the X39 to address it. You cannot pick where your stem cells go. You don't get to direct them. So if your back hurts, don't put the X39 on and be upset if it doesn't get rid of your pain. It may be working in your liver. It may be working in your brain. Who knows? It's your stem cells. Your body knows what to do, right? We don't get to direct it. This is not a stem cell injection. Okay, so someone has a question on X49. So X49, they said, is it with AHK copper peptide being stimulated? Yes, that is correct. So AHK is a daughter peptide to GHK. And so it does not activate your stem cells like X39 does, because it elevates GHK. And like I said, GHK is responsible for resetting genes. One of those genes is P63 that mobilizes stem cells. So AHK is a peptide that focuses more. Let's back up. X39 is systemic, which means your body's stem cells are going to go to work wherever they are needed. X49 is more localized. And when I say that, that peptide, the alanine, instead of the glycine, is the A in the AHK. The alanine looks at the muscles. That is the main focus of, and why David came out with X49, was to help people as they age with grip strength, with bicep strength, with core strength, legs, your quads, things like that. So helping to build lean muscle mass as we age. It also helps to reduce body fat. And we have also seen significant improvements in stopping bone loss and increasing bone density. And they're exponentially improved, those results, when you combine with X39, because they are daughter peptides, the X39 and X49. We see huge differences. And you can look on our website to see the clinical studies, even a year out, with stopping bone loss and increasing bone density. And we can see the improvements in the cardiovascular system, because of course your heart's a muscle. And we can also see neurological improvements in the brain. And there is sometimes, usually in week 1 and 3 from our studies, some improvement in pain level as well too with X49. So since 39 and 49 are both 99, they're both, so that doesn't mean that they're both stem cell activating. If you go to startx39now.com, you can see all the clinical studies on 39 and 49 and how they're different and what they do. So 39 is, again, systemic. 49 is very localized into the heart, the muscles, the bone, the brain. So that peptide is responsible for impacting those areas specifically. They would make a hypothesis, and this is what David has said, from the clinical studies, that it does, because of the bone growth and stopping the bone loss, increasing bone density, that it does activate those stem cell processes in the bones. But we don't have clinical studies that show that it's activating, elevating, mobilizing your stem cells. So it's a hypothesis based on what's happening with the bone. If you have titanium rods, you should not be concerned at all with our patches. Would it stand to reason the older you are, the sicker, more damaged, that those cases may take longer? No. No, it's crazy. There's no rhyme or reason to who feels what faster. It doesn't matter if you're the healthiest person on the planet, if you're 2 or 92, there is no rhyme or reason to it. We have zero data in 20 years saying that if you have this, and this situation, you're going to feel it faster or see things long. It's going to take longer. Doesn't work that way at all. But that's a good question. The health tracker, if you go to get back to the person that invited you, they can help you get the health tracker. And thank you, Jenny, for putting a link in there to it as well too. Okay, so the last leaf of Lifewave had dark brown spots. That's perfectly fine. It's not a defect. It happens all the time. Mine always have dark spots on them. Energy Enhancer does too. There's nothing wrong with it. Remember, there's nothing entering the body, so it's all good. With the location options to put the patch, so you can use what's in the booklet, or you can put the patch anywhere. It does not matter. It is working systemically. So you can stick it on the top of your big toe. You can stick it in the center of your forehead. You can put it on the inside of your shirt and wear it like this. Remember, our body's light or heat is emitted a good 2 to 4 inches off the body. So it doesn't matter where you put the patch. It's working no matter what. So don't feel like you have to stick with just the placements in the book. So you've been using the X39 for 30 days. I wear one of those with the others. Is that enough? That's your personal choice. I always recommend X39 and Eon. That is a fantastic place to start for anyone and everyone and anything. And if you want to use a different patch from there with it, you absolutely can. We have other patches and they can be worn daytime or night, depending on what they are. Testing my biomarkers. If you go to lifeforce.com, if you've read Tony Robbins' book, Life Force, I read that a couple years ago. They have a service now where they actually come to you. They'll come to your door. And obviously you pay for the test, right? It's 40 different biomarkers, and they'll send someone, a phlebotomist, to your door to draw the blood, and they send it to the lab and then take care of getting back with you, and then you do like a telehealth kind of, Zoom connect, and they'll go over your blood work with you. It's very comprehensive, very detailed, but I don't have the link in front of me right now, but go to LifeForce and you can find it. 26-year-old can't drive, often can't work, flu-like symptoms, headaches, fatigue, swollen joints, especially ankles, with pain and weak limbs. It sounds like there's an immune system issue. I would definitely use the X39 Eon and the glutathione as well. If there's pain, you can use the Icewave too, but I would definitely get on that glutathione for sure. Glutathione is the master antioxidant, master detoxer, immune booster. It is going to neutralize free radicals in your body. That's what antioxidants do, and be able to help your body to have the best immune system, which is super important. So we started a friend on X39 3 weeks ago. She has her child's wedding in a week and still has severe pain in her knees. Again, Eon, Icewave, absolutely. Yeah, you can definitely put 1 patch on each knee, white right, tan left, or you can look at the videos that I recommended on moving them around different locations. Yes, your chicken and eggs must be pasture raised only. Absolutely. Eon for equilibrium. Well, when you look at the brain, neurological, something's off, right? If your equilibrium's off. So X39 Eon, and definitely carnosine. Carnosine balances the left brain, right brain hemisphere. So I would definitely use carnosine for balancing the body, the brain as well. Let's see. Do's and don'ts of storage for patches. Yeah, that's a great question. So you store them. Mine are right here in my little bag. That's where they all sit. They sit right there on my desk. If you're traveling with them, put them in your purse, put them in your bag, put them in your suitcase, in your carry-on, whatever. It doesn't matter. The x-ray is not going to impact them. I would not leave them in your mailbox more than 1 day. So if you know they're being delivered, then you need to get them out of your mailbox. But you can travel with them, absolutely, if you're in the car or whatever. As far as outside, you don't want to leave them outside. Like if you're going to go camping for a week right now here in Florida and it's 100 degrees every day and you're not inside, you don't have any air conditioning, I wouldn't recommend that for a week with your patches. If it's for a weekend, a night or two, that's not a big deal. Cats. So what patches can cats use? They can use whatever patches they want. You want them to use. X39 is perfect. We do that a lot. We take our patch off when we brush our teeth at night and we put it on our pet. You can use Eon. I don't know why you would use X49 with a cat. I haven't heard of anyone using the X49, but I don't really know why you would, but it's not going to hurt them. I don't really know what for. Let's see, going to a wedding. Okay, thank you for that answer. Reading has an epidural for a surgery. The epidural hit a nerve. And now she's got strength from the nerve. Would it be beneficial to place the X39 on the puncture site? As long as it's not open, we don't want to put a patch over an open wound. You can put it as close to it as possible. I know Laura, when she had her hip surgery, she had the patches, on 1 patch on each side of the X39 Eon on each side of the wound area, the line, right? That surgery where the staples were. So get it as close as possible. Just don't ever put the patch over an open wound. We've seen crazy wound healing. It's insane what's happened with people. What patches can you use at night? Well, I'll tell you what you can't use at night. You cannot use X39, X49, or Energy Enhancer at night. All the rest of the patches you can use at night. It's up to you. The reason why is those patches can, and a lot of times do, give you energy, physical energy, mental energy, things like that, and they could keep you awake. But I will tell you, my son uses X39 and 49 at night. He'll shower right before he goes to bed and put those patches on. Doesn't keep him up. Of course, he can sleep through a tornado and it would never wake him up. So nothing wakes the child up when he goes to sleep. He's always been that way. So I don't know that you're that way, so don't try it. Okay, where and when to use? I'm told the bottom of the feet. You can put the patches on the bottom of your feet if you want to. A lot of people will take Icewave and they'll put the Icewave on their balls, K1, the balls of the feet right here, that K1 acupuncture spot. If you're in pain or you need to really open up the energy channels, they'll put Energy Enhancer or Icewave on the balls of your feet. Pretend this is my foot. That's the ball of the foot. K1 is the acupuncture point. So I have a red light therapy device that I have that will have any impact or effect on using the patch. It has nothing to do with the patch. There's no impact. There's no interference at all. I have an infrared sauna, and you can sit in the sauna with your patches on. My husband and my son both sit in the sauna because they do nighttime with their patches on. I sit in the sauna in the morning, so I haven't put my patches on yet, but there's no interactions, and it doesn't have any effect whatsoever on it in a negative way at all. Let's see. Severe restless leg syndrome. You are severely mineral deficient. So I would definitely get some trace minerals. I would get some Celtic sea salt. I would get some sea moss, get your electrolytes. You're magnesium deficient. Definitely 100% you are electrolyte and mineral deficient. Patch wise, you can use your X39 and Eon. That's going to be fantastic, but you really have to address your mineral deficiency. If someone's throwing up from chemo, we don't have a patch to stop nausea, so I cannot say that a patch is going to do that. You can use the patches. I had a lady on my team that she shared her testimonial today on Zoom. Hopefully I'm going to be able to interview her tomorrow night. Actually, she was texting me back. Yes, perfect. Okay, good. She had breast cancer, and the really, really, really bad kind. And she started using the patches. She actually used them completely during chemotherapy and radiation. And I mean, her side effects were like nothing. Double mastectomy, scars, everything. So jump on Thursday night, 9 p.m. Eastern. I'm going to be interviewing her, and it helped her have like no issues, complications, or side effects with any chemo or radiation. I mean, she did like 16 rounds of chemo, and I think it was like 20 something rounds of radiation. It's crazy. And she looks like amazing. She's like, I cannot believe what these patches did to help me get through all of that and improve her quality of life massively, right? So how long to try a location on a patch before you move? If you want to move, then you can move every 7 days. So say you put the patch here for 7 days, and you decide you want to put it on the inside of your hand right here for 7 days, or maybe you want to go on the inside of your wrist for 7 days. It doesn't matter. You can never move them at all. I love my patches below my belly button. It's easy, it's fast, I don't have to think about it. I just go straight down a line. Sometimes I'll have 4 or 5 patches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Don't care. I'm not worried about it. You should not be worried about where the patch is on your body. You should be making sure you get it on your body, that you're staying hydrated every day and you're staying consistent with it. That's your biggest focus, right? Don't get frustrated with trying to move them around different locations. Just stick it on and let it do its job. I promise it is. So can X39 add to copper amounts in the body? No. So X39 is elevating a peptide. Peptides are chains of amino acids, proteins in the body, which are the building blocks of the body. It is not copper. Copper is important in your body because of the processes and what it does as a mineral, right? David says most people are copper deficient. We can see that. And so 1 square of dark chocolate a day keeps your copper up where it needs to be. Or you could eat liver. That's a hard no for me. So I'm going to stay with the square of dark chocolate, but the X39 does not elevate your copper in any way. And if you work with copper wire, that's perfectly fine. Where do you find the patch definition? Studies are helpful. I need it in plain speak English. So go to startx39now.com. Right there in the very beginning, it talks about how the patch works. Super simple and plain and easy. Yes, if you wear a colostrum bag, absolutely, you can wear X39. The only time we don't recommend X39, and the reason why is because we haven't done clinical studies, is if you have an organ in your body that does not belong to you. So I mean, you were born with organs that belong to you. And along the way, something's happened and you've had to have a transplant where you have someone's organ in your body that did not belong to you. So you have a heart or a kidney or a liver or a lung. We don't have clinical studies on the efficacy of these patches with organ transplants. You are on serious immunosuppressant drugs. Your body may reject the organ. We don't know. We're not saying it does, because no one's lining up to do a clinical study with a heart that they've waited years, or lungs they've waited years, or liver to get on a transplant list to see if it's going to benefit. So we don't recommend it because of what stem cells do to, repair and regenerate. And if it's foreign, we don't know. So we don't recommend that. Otherwise, if you've had a stent, if you have a skin graft, if you have, like you heard, titanium rods, hip replacement, knee replacement, pacemaker, defibrillator, valves, or whatever, all of that stuff, you're fine. You're perfectly fine, right? My daughter had a shunt in her brain. No problem. No problem whatsoever using the patches. So just keep that in mind. Patch for pain, we already went over that. Weight. Oh, wow. That's a whole nother animal, isn't it? We don't have time to get into weight loss tonight. I will tell you to use the tummy reduction protocol. The tummy reduction protocol will address your pain. It'll address your stress. It'll address your weight. I'll just give it to you real quick because we've still got about 25 questions down there. So if you make a diamond, okay, diamond, the belly button, pretend like that's my belly button in the center where the patch is. The top of that diamond, you are going to put your Eon patch. The bottom of that diamond, you are going to put your X39. So your belly button's in the center. Pretend like that's my belly button, right? That's the center. My X39 is on the bottom. My Eon is on the top. On the right of that diamond, right? On the right of that diamond is going to go the glutathione. On the left of that diamond is going to go the SP6. That is our tummy reduction protocol. We say tummy reduction because that's what most people are concerned about. But at the end of the day, we are addressing the issue of inflammation. We are addressing the issue of toxicity with the glutathione. We are addressing your issue of balancing your body with your stem cells, which actually help with digestive system and your nervous system and all of that. And we're also addressing the issue of your endocrine system, which is your set of glands and organs responsible for your hormones and things like that in your body with the SP6. SP6 does help to balance your cravings, to curb those cravings and boost your metabolism. So using in the diamond form around your belly button, Eon, glutathione, SP6, and X39 at the bottom. Get with the person that invited you. They can send you a graphic. We already have it made up if you want, but that's what I would do if you're looking for anything with weight. I don't know that you're going to lose weight with that because that's not what it's designed to do. I will also tell you that X39, X49 in clinical studies had an 11% body fat reduction in 60 days. Again, didn't say we're going to lose weight, but when you reduce body fat, things tend to happen on the scale sometimes, right? And then, of course, we do know that the energy enhancer burns an extra 300 to 600 calories a day. Didn't say that's a weight loss patch, but when you're burning an extra 300 to 600 calories, that tends to help in that department too. We know that food, nutrition is your foundation, detoxification, exercise, sleep, clean, healthy water, all of that plays into weight. Cut out the processed package, fake foods and eat real, healthy, whole foods. Alkalize your body and your body will be in balance. Do I still recommend X39 15 days before a detox? I don't know that I've ever recommended it 15 days before a detox. X39 can be used any day, anytime, every day. And if you're going to do a detox, fantastic. I would definitely do one. I think I'm a huge proponent of detoxes. Every single quarter, I'm doing some type of detox, and I have since I was 18 years old. It's very important. If you're driving a car, how often do you change the oil? You change that oil when that light goes off, baby, and you don't miss a beat. Because otherwise, that car is not going to get you from point A to point B. And a lot of times, most all times, people are where they are. They're not getting from point A to point B. They're not living their best life because of the toxicity. They've never changed the oil in their car, right? So definitely glutathione, master antioxidant, carnosine, huge antioxidant, really, really important. So when I look at abnormal breast cells, calcification buildup in your breast, I would use your X39 and Eon. You know, you can go to our Telegram channel. There are testimonials of women with abnormal breast cells. Marcy's one of them that has had a journey with that using the patches. Glutathione, if you go to Suzanne Summers, she has written obviously a number of books, 4 of them. She specifically references using our Lifewave patches, the glutathione, in her treatment herself personally of her own breast cancer. So I'm not saying you have breast cancer, you have abnormal cells. She did have breast cancer. She had abnormal cells. I don't know if it's the same thing. I'm just making a correlation here, but you can definitely look at her books and look at her personal experience. I love where she said symptoms of Parkinson's. Oh, let's just talk about neurological issues. We've got a few minutes left. Neurological type of issues, again, seriously toxic. That means your brain is toxic. Look at your amalgams, the mercury in your teeth, and go find yourself a holistic dentist, not your regular dentist, because they'll kill you. Go get yourself a holistic dentist to get the mercury out of your mouth. If you have root canals, it's a whole nother issue as well too. That's extremely toxic and horrible for your body. But those mercury fillings in your mouth are leading to neurological problems. Your personal care products, your foods, those heavy metals are leaching into your brain and causing neurological problems. So you would want to use your X39. You definitely want to use your X49. You would definitely want Eon to reduce the inflammation. We've got to get the toxins out. Glutathione, carnosine, those are fantastic patches for that. It says don't place in front of a router or Wi-Fi or high EMF dirty electricity. That's always a good idea. I don't think you should be anywhere near routers or Wi-Fi high right next to them, or EMFs or anything like that. So definitely keep your body away from it, right? So do I recommend detox for 15 days? I think it's great to detox at whatever or however you want. There's no set amount of days. It just depends on what detox you're doing. As far as the patches, I think it's important to patch consistently with X39 and Eon. X39 elevates your own glutathione level by 30%. The glutathione patch elevates your glutathione level by 300%. So you may want to use that every other day or every third day. You may have detox symptoms in your body and you may not. I don't know. Some people maybe have a little of the flu-like symptoms. Most don't. It's not common, right? But again, water hydration is going to be key to whether you have any of those or not. The patches have no symptoms or side effects whatsoever. But when you detox, sometimes you don't feel great for a little bit of time. And that's okay. It's part of it. But there's no certain amount of days that you use the glutathione or the carnosine to detox. You use them consistently because we are always bombarded by toxins. You can't walk outside. You can't even sit on your couch because of the toxins, even in the furniture, right? It's part of life. It is what it is. So we've got to do the best job we can in keeping our body healthy, and that definitely using the patches is going to help that. Is it okay to use all three, Eon, glutathione, and carnosine every day? Absolutely. I do 100% daily with my X39. I'll use my X49. Depends on the day. I'll use Energy Enhancer, Alavita every night. Absolutely. Now, if you're someone that's on tons of medications, you're sick, you may have to go slow with glutathione. You know, it may be too much for you to start right out of the gate with it. Talk to the person that invited you. They can help you with what works best for you, what your needs are, and know that it's, you know, everyone's different. This is not a cookie cutter type thing. You can stick it on your body and it's going to work for every single thing and everyone over time, but there's no like, oh, use this, it's going to be gone in 30 days, boom, boom, boom. It's just going to depend on what's going on in your body and what you do to take care of your body, right? You can wear as many patches as you want. I know the first time I met David, he had on 13 patches and he only had 10 available on the website at the time. We're like, where are these patches coming from? He's like, well, they're experimental. I don't recommend you put on 12 patches on day one. I think it's best to start with X39 and Eon and work slowly from there. When we look at neurological issues, for example, with my daughter who had a brain bleed, who was a child when she started patching, I patched her myself, right? As a mother, I made a choice to patch my child, even though, you know, our recommendations are we have no clinical studies on children. The first two people I patched were my kids because of the belief I had and the knowledge I had in this technology and what it would do. It's your personal choice, but X39, Eon, and carnosine are the most beneficial patches when you look at anything neurological. Like I mentioned, my daughter had a shunt in her brain. She had a brain bleed, so she had serious neurological damage. Those three patches changed her world. So I would definitely use those every day. I would not skip, and I didn't skip a day. I was using glutathione daily, X39 Eon. You know, sometimes I don't know what you mean by your gland, but your neck, some swelling. Sometimes, yeah, your body's trying to detox That, like I said, the X39 does elevate your glutathione by that 30%. So back off of the glutathione patch some. That may have been a little bit too much. When you look at your hands and feet tingling, right? Having pain, you can't feel them, numbness. Again, energy enhancer or ice wave on the balls of the feet, K1 is what you would use for that. Sauna is perfectly fine. I don't have any problems sitting in a sauna with patch. I've been doing that for over a year now. I've had one in my home. We have time for one more question, I think. Can you put X39 and Eon acupuncture points to help with nausea? Well, we know this is the nausea point. I don't know that putting the patches there is going to do it. Obviously, you can put your hand there, acupressure point. If I'm in the car and I get car sick, I'll just do this and put my hand on this point. It takes it away immediately. I don't know that the patches will do that. So if you didn't get your question answered, please get back with the person that invited you. They can help you get your questions answered, and we all work together to make sure that we help each other. If you're a guest tonight, thank you for being here. They can talk to you about the different options. We do have wholesale packs where you can mix and match the patches that you want that are going to be best for you without having to pay retail price. So thank you all for being here this evening. I look forward. Hopefully you'll be on my patching podcast with Marcy on Thursday night. I have two amazing people to interview that are going to share their testimonials with you. So look forward to seeing you guys soon.